First of all, mate, congratulations on becoming world champion. I would imagine your mind is probably racing all over the place at the moment, right? Because it's meant to be potentially the best night of your career, and yet now you're walking around limping, and we're not sure how that's going to be. So what exactly are you thinking and the emotions are right now?
Yeah, you're right. It is all over the place at the moment, and it hasn't really sunk in. But you know, the team is happy. We're happy. We came in and we got the job done, and that's what we are here for, is to get that title, and we did that.
You said at the press conference that you would do whatever it takes, right? If it became a firefight, you would do it, and then your ACL potentially goes in the fight. What is going through your mind when that happens? Is it just like not even thinking about it, or is it like, okay, how do I adapt? What goes through your mind when that injury happens?
Yeah, it's just adapting on the fly. We've had issues like this before. We're in a big fight, and you expect things like this to happen. So I never counted myself out at any moment, but we knew that this was going to be an issue at the time, and how do we adapt with it? How do we adapt to it?
Is this like a thing that you'd had through camp as well?
No, it just happened on the night.
You said, like, look, you're going to adapt and stuff like that, but when your balance is completely off, right, and you're falling because he's kicking it back, and I'm sure it's hurting a lot, are you starting to think, like, am I going to have to grapple? Am I just going to have to try and bang him out in one punch? What strategy-wise goes through your mind at that point?
Just sticking to the plan, sticking to the game plan, and I think that's what got us there in the end, was staying calm, and whatever fire came through us. So, yeah, I guess Jiri made the mistake of coming forward as I was on the cage, and he walked into that left hook.
I know you said it's all part of the plan and stuff like that, but there must be something going when you land that left hook on him that you are just like, oh, thank God for that, with the injury and everything.
Yeah, for sure. Yes, yeah.
He said in his post-fight interview that he felt sympathy for you when he saw the injury, and he kind of showed mercy, in his opinion. Do you agree with that assessment from Jiri?
No, I don't think that. I feel like he made the mistake there, because I would not have done the same. If you're in there to get that title, you do whatever it takes to get that win.
And listen, I'm sure you're going to have to go have scans and stuff like that, but if I ask you right here and now, when do you think you're getting back in there? Do you have any idea what's the sort of scenario going through your mind?
I'm no doctor. I have no idea what's going to happen, but all I know is we'll go and assess it, see what happens, and then try to get into the gym as soon as I can. Hopefully it's not as bad as it may seem, but I'm looking to get in the gym as soon as I can.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Carlos, what is it like when we're watching Jiri do Jiri things in there, like we find it entertaining to watch, but when he's standing like feet away from you, pointing at the ground, hands at the ground, just doing like Jiri things, what is it actually like in there?
Yeah, I think that was his way of trying to lure me into his game, and I stuck to what I needed to do, which was try and keep my distance, stay in the middle, and try not to let him push me back on the cage where he could have an advantage or whatever it is. But I think what it is was we just stuck to our game plan.
And I know, like you said, you have to get all these things checked out on your knee, but like on the rise, you're trying to like strategically maneuver your way up the rankings with the best fights to reach that title. Now everyone has to chase you. You don't have to chase fights anymore. So I guess what do you want moving forward? Like I guess obviously Paulo had the big win. Dom's back in the win column after you knocked him out. What would make sense for you, given like you can, depending on what your knee is, of course, but what do you think makes sense for you?
I think I'm not too sure who else is there. There's who knows. We'll just leave it up to we leave it up to the guys who know what they're doing, and I just get myself into the gym and prepare for whatever is next.
Have you had the chance to talk to anyone back home yet?
Not yet.
Congrats, man.
Thank you.
Carlos, what went through your mind as soon as sort of your knee popped?
It was just deal with it and see how we can adapt and what we need to do from there. And I knew that I never counted myself out of the fight, and knew that all I needed was was my hands to land.
Did you feel like, and I don't know if you can think sort of that clearly in that moment, obviously you're fighting, but did you feel like, I can't go to the scorecards, like I have to get a finish fairly soon because of, being in one leg?
Yeah, I mean, like as soon as the leg went out, we knew that we had to try and figure something else out on the fly. And yeah, I think it was just more about pushing forward, and this is the fight game, and these sorts of things happen, and I've already dealt with that. I've already said to myself that whatever happens in that cage, we have to keep going. We have to keep pushing through. We have to keep going until you get that belt, because nothing is going to stop me from getting it. And I heard him saying that throughout the week as well, and that's what sort of pushed me to do it too.
And I know no one wants to get injured, obviously, but is part of you maybe a bit proud that you had to go through this much adversity and you didn't fold? I think many fighters in your position would probably fold at the adversity and the circumstance.
Yeah, I mean, like it's just having to push through and understand what was at stake. This meant a lot for me, and getting this belt was bigger than me, and just I think having that mentality helped me push through, and nothing was ever going to stop me from getting that goal.
Yeah. And it was an incredible finish, and you had mentioned to me on fight week that you were hoping that to get a big win in order to lure back Poatan. Do you feel like you've done that?
Who knows? He might come back, but I think I just need to keep this belt and see if he comes back. It would be a big fight for sure.
Thank you, and congrats.
Thank you.
Carlos over here, congratulations on becoming a champion. I know Robert Whittaker was joking that they have a group chat of the champions from Australia and New Zealand with him, Volk, and Izzy. Are you excited to be added to that group chat finally?
Yeah, I'm excited.
And what is it about City Kickboxing in Miami? Izzy and Volk became 2-time champs here. You overcame being on one leg and became champ. What is it about Miami?
Tootsie's. There you go.
And one last one from me. If you end up being healthy in the next couple months, if it is you versus Paulo Costa for the light heavyweight title, the best looking fighter title might also be on the line. What's it going to be like to fight for 2 belts?
Yeah, it'd be awesome. Thank you.
Carlos, you'd be the second UFC champion from New Zealand, next to your teammate Israel Adesanya. What does it feel now to have your name etched in history along with him?
It means a lot, man. It just means to be able to take another belt back home gives hope to the many other fighters and aspiring fighters back home to see that it is possible. And it's even more possible now that someone like me, that I could do it, who, that I'm sure they can they can relate to. So yeah, it just gives a lot of hope.
Was there any worry in your head that the ref may stop the fight when he saw you kind of wobbling around there on your leg?
There wasn't worry about the ref, really. It was just more about how I'm going to adapt to the situation, what I'm gonna have to do from there, and try to adapt on the fly. Main thing was just knowing that I had the power. I had the power and a little bit of movement, and try not to push off that leg as much as I could.
Yeah, it seems like you adapted pretty well. So the light heavyweight title has kind of been a hot potato in recent years, just bouncing from one guy to the next to the next. Is one of your goals as champion to kind of solidify yourself as a dominant champion in the light heavyweight division that we haven't seen in a while?
Yeah, it is. It is. The mission is to hold this belt and hold it for as long as I can. and make as much money as I can in this company.
Carlos, one more front right here. I don't know if you saw, but Tai Tuivasa tweeted that Miami is lucky he's not here right now to celebrate your win. What would that look like if Tai was actually ringside?
Crazy, man. It would be crazy, actually. You party with Ty? Yeah, I don't think you wake up the next morning, eh? You just, yeah. I've been there a few times, and yeah, I don't want to be there. I am lucky he's not here.
Carlos over here. Congratulations on your win. You just won the belt, and in one of the toughest ways possible. How much of that win over Jiri Prochazka was about skill, and how much was it about refusing to be beaten?
A lot of it was about refusing to be beaten, and then also sticking to the game plan, sticking to what it was the fire and the fire that Jiri would bring, he said he would bring, and me sticking, or just me staying calm in a situation like that. And I think that was the biggest thing in this whole camp, was learning to stay calm in any situation.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Carlos, right here. Congratulations. I have to ask you about an interaction that happened backstage this week. Josh Hokit came up to you in character, messing around. What was your reaction? What were your thoughts on that?
Yeah, I mean, like it's funny. It's funny. He's a character, and he's like, it showed that he's also a good fighter. So like I enjoyed watching his fight in the back. But yeah, I think it's maybe could be something that the UFC needs.
Do you think that's maybe the best heavyweight fight of all time? That's kind of what they're talking about. I know you said you watched some of it. A lot of people also say Mark Hunt's in that conversation with his Bigfoot fight. So any thoughts there?
It was a good fight. Well, watching it, and just he was just pushed forward, and he had a good game plan going forward too. So I think he was playing possum at some point, and I think that was part of his strategy too. So yeah, he's got the character and he can fight.
My last question about Josh is coming in at 233. A lot of people on X and social media were saying when he went up to you, you made him look like a middleweight. So you think maybe he's in the wrong weight class?
I'll beat his ass.
Any more guys?
Do you have any plans to celebrate?
Yeah, go back to the house and just take those two crazy boys over there, that the young fellas are. 11. That's where it's at. After party's at 11.
Best of luck.
Thank you. Luck. Thank you.